business actually stands for. Sometimes it is very difficult to understand or to define specifically define what your business is actually standing for, because some people feel lost in the crowd. What sets you apart is the uniqueness of your brand, right? So some people feel lost in the crowd. So you are not the only one doing what you are doing. Either you are a fashion designer, you make shoes, you do or anything that you do. One thing that you should have in mind is that you are not the first and you are not the only. In some cases, you might be the first person. There's something called innovation and invention. You might actually be the one that innovated this, that invented this actually. But for some of you, it might actually be that you turned that invention into something very peculiar and useful. So you might be the first person that actually initiated that idea, for all I care. But what I want you to understand is that you are not the only one now. Either you started it, either you were the first, either you were the pioneer person. You are not the only one now. Because as time goes on, knowledge is passive. So people learn from each and every one of ourselves. So we learn every day. So sometimes you might find it difficult to define what your business or what your brand is actually standing for. But what if I can actually tell you that the secret to skyrocketing your brand, the secret to skyrocketing your business lies in understanding your purpose, lies in understanding your vision, in understanding your mission and your core values. It's combination of few things: understanding your purpose, understanding your vision, understanding your mission, and understanding your core values. So there is something called SWOT analysis. That means you understand your strengths, your weakness, your opportunities, and other areas. So that is SWOT, and many people find it difficult to do. As a matter of fact, there are some watching me right now that you have not done your SWOT analysis and you are actually in business. It gives you the added advantage to understand who you are and then understand your competitors, right? So you are able to define yourself, and at the same time you are able to see from this perspective of your audience, see from the perspective of your competitors, see what they are doing differently and what you need to do differently, at the same time, like that. So, but we should break this down. I just said purpose, vision, mission, and core values. That is 4 things. So for the purpose of this video, this will be the 4 things I will be talking about. So let's dive into all these 4 issues now. The first one is purpose. This purpose that I'm talking about, your brand purpose, it is what I call your why. Why does your business exist beyond profit? Why? Until you are able to answer all whys in your business, you have not done too much of a research. So you should be able to sit down, analyze why, answer all the questions why, put them down. Why does my business exist beyond profit, for an example? Why do you think, okay, is it only because you wanted to make money? That is why you started your business. Of course, it might be one of the pioneer reasons why you started your brand or your business. But is it that, there are different companies that are in, and as time goes on, I'm going to make subsequent videos on talking about brands that thrive. Brands that thrive are brands that actually aim at solving problems. Let's not even talk about brands. If we are talking about people, people lean towards those who solve problems. So we lean towards assets, not liabilities. So when someone is an asset to you, you are more focused on the person than someone who is a liability, right? So when someone is a liability to you, when someone is kind of a burden, so you kind of shift, you take steps backward so that you can create some space between you and that person. Because as time goes on, they used to say one rich man amidst many poor men is we also become poor eventually. So for the sake of your mind and for the sake of your merit, you create a gap between you and liabilities, but we tend towards assets. So when people that solve your problem, you pay attention more to them. Even the Bible says that your gift will make room for you and set you before great men, before kings. You will not stand before mean men. So it is an establishment that when you solve people's problems, it is very certain that you will not stand before mean and undervalued men. So it's the same thing with your brand. When your brand answer the questions why, that it is focused on solving problems. So if you are saying you want to answer the question why, let's take one why for example. Why does your business exist beyond making a profit? Let's exclude profit from your business. What else is your business existing for? Let's exclude making money from your business. What else is your business actually existing for? What is your brand existing for? Because if you are to talk less of money now, can you answer the question why? Why do you think your business should exist if there's no making profit? Let's say, okay, I am able to solve your problem and I am able to provide you with all the money you need. Anything, all your bills, I'm going to sort it, I'm going to settle it for you. Just name it. If let's assume I said that, just name your price. I am going to make sure I solve your problems. If it regards money, now you don't need the money, but you are running a business. Now I ask you, I told you I'm going to solve your problem. So why are you running a business? So what's supposed to be your response? So you have to sit down, analyze why. Why should I think my business should exist beyond me? Let's take for an example, Pentagonia for instance. Their purpose is to save the planet. So it is that commitment that drives every decision that they make. Every decision that they make. We want to save the planet. So it is that vision, that commitment is what drives it. So when you say your business is striving to solve people's daily problem, you are into tech for an instance now, and you are creating, let's say, technology is not limited to website, or you are creating something that needs to make people's life easier. For someone that sat down and thought that, okay, there was a time we used mortar and pestle to pound pepper. There was a time we used our hands to grill pepper. But the person might actually have thought about it, that there would be something, or there can be a way around all of these things. So they came up with something that we call blender. They came up with something that we call air fryer. All these things make people's life easier. It is that commitment to making people's life easier that is why they create something that is better every day. You ever wonder why Apple changes or releases new set of phones every time? You hear iPhone 12, iPhone 12 Pro Max, iPhone 11, 11 Pro Max, 13, 14, 15, 16 Pro Max. You ever wonder what's the difference between all of these? But when you come across the blueprint of all of these things, you will notice differences and upgrade in their phone. So they sit down every time, analyze the mistake, analyze the error, and analyze why people are finding it difficult, relating to or experiencing. There's something called user experience. So when users are having a negative experience in an angle of the phone, so they sit down, analyze, and say, okay, the next one we are releasing, let us make sure that we increase or we level up on this side. That is when they actually release a new one, and you have found changes. So if you are using 12 for an example, and your iPhone or your iOS does not support some apps, you can either update or you get another one that is higher. You get my point now? So is the reason why they are doing this is because what drives that commitment is because they have a purpose. They are able to answer a purpose. They are able to answer to a question, that this is why we exist. Beyond the profit, we want people's life to be easier. You can imagine how cameras now, you can easily, when you are using even those level of upgrade now, I'm talking about iPhone 14 and all, when you snap, you almost like your picture. Compare, you cannot compare it to a lens, but you prefer it most times. You can even make very wide edit on it. So you see, it's because there is availability and the ability to think and to answer a question of why. So that is the brand's purpose, and every decision, every step they take is a commitment towards accomplishing that purpose. So when you as a business are thinking, when you are able to answer the question, sit down, analyze it. This is why I'm existing. So if you are going to draw a sketch of a fashion, if you are going to draw a sketch of a shoe, if you are going to draw a sketch of a bag, if you are going to make a design, anything you are going to make at all will be to answer the question of why. Why? Will be to answer the question of why is it existing? Okay, does this actually relate to my brand's purpose? You can ask yourself, what impact do you want your business to have? Do I want people to see me as someone that help people to attain the heights they would desire in their brands? Do you want people to be able to relate with your business? And whenever they think of your business, when you think of Coca-Cola now, you think of quality compared to other brands of soft drinks now. When you think of Samsung, you think of Apple, it is very difficult for you to even compare them with, there is this how should I call it, this animated thing they do now, like this cartoon thing that they will just like a stick man, Samsung against iPhone, like a battle, itel against all this, and you watch. It's our means of communicating the effectiveness, the impact that they have on our lives. So when they say, oh, Samsung has killed Apple, or itel has killed Lenovo, or anything, it is telling you that, okay, this short clip you just watched is our attempt to explain to you that this brand is actually more of influence and impact to us than the other. It's not that the other does not have an impact, it's just that the impact is greater than the other. So what impact do you want your business? Do you just want to be making money? Because that is where it comes in. You will find out that how are some people running their business, because the customer relation zero, the empathy zero, the consideration they have for customers zero. They have no human feelings. They are just, you will know that these ones are just running businesses for profit and for money. They think nothing. Once you are done with them, you sent the money, that is the end. Just forget anything about relationship with them. What impact do you want? It is that impact that you thought of, that you have answered, is what will keep driving what you want your business to actually attain. Think about this. Ask yourself, what impact do I want my business to have? Then take a moment to write down your thoughts. Pen it down. So you write the question, number one, why? And below it, put down the answer. The question is, what impact do you want your business? We are trying to define your brand's purpose here. So what impact do you want your business to have? Then write down your thoughts. Alright? So the second thing I would discuss is your vision. Your vision. This is where you see your business going in the future. There's something called meditation. Right? There are various apps that help in meditation, especially for people with ADHD. So you can sit down and be meditating on one thing. This is where these people we call monks, this is what they know how to do best. They will just sit down, they will fold their legs like that, and they can either spread their hands like this or fold it or anything. What they are doing is picking a topic or a statement. It can even be a line, and ruminating on it. They are meditating, regurgitating it front and back, to and fro. They are thinking about it over and over and over and over again. So when we talk about your brand vision, this is where you see your business going in the future. Excuse me if what you are seeing of your business now is just the little container you are using, or the 3 offices you have, or you have just seen that is where your hand is. Fine, it is you that define it. But as far as you are concerned, when you are starting a brand or you are already in business, make sure you take your time to sit down and see into the future. Take a dive into the future. They used to say the future is now. and you can define what you want to happen. So time does not change anything. I do say it very well. Time does not change anything. Time only reveal. So if you think, okay, with time everything is going to be better. Coca-Cola did not become a well-known company because of time. They became well-known because of the impact they are giving, and the dexterity of the process they have gone through. Time only reviews what you have been doing per time and per season. So if you are going to say things will change next week, we have to ask the question, in respect to what? Oh, my business will survive, my business will thrive. Next come 2026, I will be making a lot of money, I will have many customers. In with respect to what? You have to know that time does not change anything, it only reviews. So what you have to do is to define the vision. You have to see where your company is going in the future. You have to think big. I mean, if you cannot even think big in your vision, how low are you thinking of yourself exactly? Because I see some people, because explain to me why you will be imagining yourself borrowing money. Even in your own imagination, you are still borrowing. Even in your own imagination, you are still begging. You cannot even in your own imagination see yourself as a CEO. If you cannot do that much, you cannot achieve that much. You should be able to do that much, to be able to chase that much, and to be able to achieve that much. So in your imagination, you have to think big. See yourself, even if the reality is not the same right now, you have to understand that everything is going to be better with time, and it's because you are putting in the process and the work. Think big, think big, think big, think big. See yourself, okay, this is my business. I'm going to have a company, and I'm going to make sure that there are different subunits, and you have already listed everything out. You've written out the plan, you have mapped out everything, the journey you are going to walk through, all of these things. Now you are not working as someone who is just working without a plan or without a path. You have a vision, and that vision is guiding where you are going. So that is when something comes your way, you know to accept or to reject. Let's use Tesla for an example. You see, Tesla vision is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. Yes or yes? So what is your own vision? What are you seeing? When you close your eyes, what did you see? Someone said that mind must be the master of the body. That is why I came through with meditation the other time. When you close your eyes, you see things. So what do you see? Close your eyes and imagine your business 5 years from now. Are you in that same spot, or you have moved forward? This is how we judge our progress. You don't compare your progress with other people's progress. This is how brands survive. You cannot sit down and take other people's experience or take other people's progress and compare it with yours. Say, we started at the same time. You are not working at the same pace, and you are not working towards the same vision. Where do you see your business in 5 years? So come that 5 years, you'll be able to sit down and look at the plan that you made. So that is when you can see, did you make progress, or did you went backward? Have you made progress, or have you gone backward? So that is when you will be able to actually decipher what have actually happened throughout the years. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, see into the future, take a peep into your future. As a business owner, what do I see? What will happen to my business 5 years from now? What does it look like? Then write it down. Write it down. I'm giving us the foundational process of building a brand that lasts. If you don't have these things in place, you will just be working and working without even having a direction. Speed is not an advantage when you have a wrong direction. Speed is definitely not an advantage. So if you are, no matter how fast you are, if you are going in the wrong direction, you are still stagnant. And as a matter of fact, it's even Stagnancy is even an understatement for that kind of a person, because you are no longer where you used to be, but you are still not moving forward, you are going backward. So to even get to where you used to be, you have to journey again. So it will cost you money, it will cost you time, it will cost you energy, it will cost you resources. So before you journey fast in your business, before you run faster than you can, make sure you define your direction. Where am I going? Am I sure I'm in the right direction? So it will be very, very improper for you that you have gone several years, and then you find out that, oh, this is not what I actually wanted to do, or this is not where I actually wanted to go. It will be a great disadvantage for you. Write it down. Where do I see my business in the next 5 years? What is happening? What does it look like? Does it look like an office? Does it look like a home setup? Does it look like a conglomerate? Does it look like does it look like a brand that thrives? Does it look like a company? Does it look like a great business that thrives through nations? Or is it on the local level still? That is how you define your brand. Sit down, close your eyes, imagine your business 5 years from now. What does it look like? Write them down. That is the second thing. The third thing I have to talk about is your mission. That is your roadmap. You see, I talked about purpose, right? I talked about vision. So when you have this mapped out, now the next thing to note is your mission, your roadmap. What path are you following? It defines what you do and how you do it. Your mission will define what you do, then still tell you how to do it. You have a vision, right? So now, from that vision, you have to bring out a mission per time, per season. So it will guides you on a path that you take. It tells you what to do. It tells you how to do it. You know, for example, Starbucks' mission is to inspire and nurture the human spirit. So your mission should reflect how you plan to fulfill your purpose and your vision. How you plan to fulfill your purpose, how you plan to achieve your vision. So you have to be able to understand this. Your mission is your roadmap, telling you where you have to go and how you have to get there, what you have to do and how you have to do it. It helps you to fulfill your purpose and to achieve your vision. So for someone who has a vision to helping or saving the world from stress, so you might just sit down. Your mission might just be, okay, how do I save the world from stress? So your mission might just be, okay, people are using stove. Let me create something called gas cooker. So, but to be able to make use of that, to be able to make people cook with less stress, I have to create something called gas cylinder. It has to be filled with gas. You have to utilize this and that. So utilizing, various forms of energy into making people's life easier. You generated a mission from that, telling you what to do, telling you how to do it. Then you achieve your purpose. That is where fulfillment comes from in your brand. Alright? So that is the third thing I am talking about. So the fourth thing I am going to talk about is your core values. That is the last step I am going to talk about. I started by saying that your purpose, your vision, your mission, and your core values. So these are the guiding principles that shape your culture and decision making. The guiding principles that shape your culture and your decision making. You see, some people are business owners, but they are not guided by any principles. Whatever comes their way, they take. Whatever comes their way, they do. You have to be disciplined enough to understand that not every opportunity, not all openings are doors. Some are windows. So if you jump through them, you might actually break your leg. Not all openings are doors. Some are actually windows. So you have to define that. And this, what helps you minimize risk in your business and in your brand, is defining your core values. The guiding principles. It shapes your culture. It shapes your decision making. So that means in our own brand, in our own business, we don't do this. Oh, no matter what it is that you are doing, this time is set for this thing. This time is set for this thing. no matter what it is. From a school setting now, the core value is that once they tell you that school resumes by 8 a.m., you get to school after 8 a.m., you will be beaten. That's the thing. There was a time while I was in secondary school. I followed school bus all through my secondary school. So I used to get to school late because the bus always comes late. So sometimes the assembly would have been finished already before I get to school. Sometimes first period is already going on, and once I get to the assembly ground, once assembly started before you enter the school, you are in trouble. So you will be delayed and you will be punished. So sometimes when I get to school during assembly period and immediately I enter the ground and they say, oh yeah, stop, I will say my next response will be school bus. So once I say school bus, they say okay, you can go, because they know that I was delayed because of school. So why do I have the need to explain myself? It is because I know that it is the core value, it is the guiding principle, the culture of the school. You don't come around this time, you are late. You are late, come already. If you come by this time, you are late. There is nothing you can say. You are late. You are late. It is the set value of the school. So also many businesses have things like that. So when you don't define your core values, it takes twists and turns for you, because you just keep doing things and doing things and doing things. Oga, define your values. Sit down, write them down, put them down, write them out. That in this my own business, in this my brand, these are the things and things and things. One of the things that became the norms for graphic designer is that I even see it. That thing is killing you. Because I don't know why you will take pride and joy from saying that graphic designer, we don't sleep. Really, you want to kill yourself. Whatever it is that you are doing, I am trying to build the value that I don't care what I'm doing. Once it is 12 a.m. I sleep. You put rope on my neck that you want to kill me. Once it is 12 a.m. I sleep. So that means whatever I have to do it during the day, because okay, you have to be diligent. The end of the diligence makes rich. Mind you, there were times, many times I worked through the night. I have worked from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. I have worked from 1 p.m. one afternoon till 2 p.m. the next afternoon. That is, I was sitting 24 hours straight with my system working. I have sat 12 hours straight. But you see, one thing, until I was sick sometimes, I think earlier this year or early last year, and I was told that rest. Unless I want to kill myself, I have to start taking note of all these things. You have to rest. Define your values. Things that you don't dump them, whatever the case may be. Come what may, you know that these things they are constant. Think of many companies which emphasizes customer service above all. There's nothing that can happen. That is where the value comes from. That when you say, even when you are insulting the let me take for examples now. I don't know if you have ever boarded a flight before, traveling to either intrastate or international. If you annoy the air hostesses, they will still be telling you, sir, please calm down, please, we are very sorry. Even if you are insulting them, you are pouring water on them, they will tell you, please calm down, we are very sorry, oh sorry for the inconvenience. They might be grumbling in themselves, but it is a value of the flight company that you don't do this. You don't insult, no matter what. Let the person insult you, let the person talk you down. Just is your own is to just provide honor and make sure that the person is satisfied. Come what may, some people take it so serious that no matter what it is that happened, you put them first. That is where the talk of customers are always right came from, right? So it is a bit to understand all of these things. So unless you define what your core values are, you will just continue to do things as you want. You get my point now. So what values are non-negotiable for your business. What values are non-negotiable for your business? What values are non? I'm saying it again and again because you see, some people are dummies. With all due respect and all sense of humility, some people in their business they just do things anyhow. They work anyhow. They do throw things anyhow. No tidiness. No. One of the things I do personally is that I arrange my folders. I put my works in folders because I learnt it. I don't just save anywhere. I learnt it. The coordination and organization, it helps your mind, the restructuring of your mind. So I don't just save files in just any folders. I save them in folders so that when I'm looking for it or a work that I worked for, when I design brands, I create a folder for them. So when they said there is something needed or I have to go back to check something, I know the folder I am going to. I am not going to scan through my whole laptop just because I'm looking for a file. I know the exact file I am looking for. What values are non-negotiable for your business? List at least 3 core values that resonate with you. 3. At least 3 that resonate with you. What is non-negotiable for you? Write 3, at least 3. Note them down for yourself. So this is where it gets all exciting. Take all of these elements. Listen to me. Take all of these elements and create a simple statement that encompasses them. Pick them one by one. All of these elements we mentioned. Create a simple statement that carries all the 4. Start with your purpose, add your vision, add your mission, then add your core values. That will be your anthem. Paste it somewhere in your room or paste it somewhere in your office or paste it anywhere. Just once you enter, you are seeing it. Make a statement of it. So create a statement. Start with your purpose, add your vision, follow with your mission, sprinkle your core values. Let it be your brand anthem. Make sure you say it every time and every time and every time and every time and every time. And say it, mention it every day. These things are very essential for you to build a business. It is very important for you to understand that these things are essential for you in order to build a strong brand, a brand that works. So if you have found this very helpful, hit the like button and share it with your fellow business owners. Let's build a community of purpose-driven businesses together. We don't chase trends, we build timelines.